It's the 5-minute reviewer, and today I'm gonna give a 5-minute take on the 2025 April Nintendo Direct. Of course, this Direct is 1 hour long and I won't be able to give you a 5-minute summary of every single detail, but I'll cover the main points and what I feel is important for you to know. So without further ado, let us begin. So right off the bat, they introduced us Mario Kart World. Initially I thought this was a trailer for the next Super Smash Bros. But it's quite interesting because the tracks here look very realistic and parallels the real world. To that, it has many improvements over the previous Mario Kart, which includes the fact that you can drive anywhere, including off the road, and you can pose for pictures, and there are up to 24 drivers that can take part in the race at any time. So this looks like an interesting buy and a good launch title for the Nintendo Switch 2. Details about this game will be covered in a later direct on I think 17th of April. So be sure to watch that if you are very interested in Mario Kart. It's the bread and butter of the presentation, which is actually talking about their new console, the Nintendo Switch 2, which aims to be the successor to Nintendo Switch. Personally, I'm quite surprised they went with the name Switch 2, because usually Nintendo comes with another unique name for their next generation console. Some new features include being able to view your friends when they play their own games on your screen, an add-on camera peripheral where you can view your friends' reaction on screen, and also of course improved graphics, moving from 720p to 1080p in handheld mode. It also can go up to 4K for certain games. They also announced a game share system for the Switch 2, where the console with the game is allowed to play with people without the game. They also announced a game which you have to pay to buy, which basically allows you to tour the features of the Nintendo Switch 2, which include explaining about the magnetic locks on the Switch and the special C button on the Switch 2. So all these have to be paid for, but I think it's a good way to introduce and gamify the new features of the Nintendo Switch 2. Switch 2 will also be playing 3 types of games. One, of course, is the games which are native to the Switch 2, called the Nintendo Switch 2 games. And the other type of game are those of the Nintendo Switch, the original Nintendo Switch. But not all games can be played on the Switch 2, only those which are compatible. And lastly, there are some games which have a Nintendo Switch version, but Switch 2 adds additional features, so they're called Nintendo Switch 2 Edition games. Games include Super Mario Party Jamboree, because the Switch 2 allows you to use the controllers like a mouse, and so mouse-like games are allowed only in the Switch 2 edition of the game. Games include the Legend of Zelda games Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom, and the upcoming Metroid 4 Prime game. We have these games available for your Switch. You just need to pay a extra price so that you can unlock these features for your Switch 2, so you don't have to buy the game again. After that, they go on to talk about their new game, Drag and Drive, where you use your Switch 2 controllers like a mouse. Looks like a simple basketball game. I don't think I'll be getting it. The announcements go straight to what matters to gamers most, which is the games. And they go on to give us a list of third-party games that will be coming out for the Switch 2. And they are games, although they are available for other consoles, this is first time they are available on Nintendo platform. So this include Elden Ring, Hades 2, Hitman, and a whole list of many games that are too long for me to remember. And finally, the direct goes into games which will be uniquely released for the system. So this include Hyrule Warriors, The Age of Imprisonment, which takes place during the Imprisoning War, where Zelda goes back to the past in Tears of the Kingdom. So this is an interesting game, and I personally am quite excited about it. It also talks about how the Nintendo GameCube games like the Wind Waker and Soul Calibur 2 will be available as classic games on the Nintendo Switch expansion pack account. So that is something to look forward to if you really love those GameCube games. Section of the Direct, they covered new games coming up, like this game called Dust Blood, which I'm personally not in my genre, but I thought it's interesting for you to know. Kirby Air Riders, which is a sequel to Kirby Air Rides. And Donkey Kong Bonanza, which is a platformer involving the titular hero Donkey Kong. For me, overall, I do enjoy the Direct. It's 1 hour of pure fan service, and Nintendo really hit it out of the park. If I were to make two complaints, is that they didn't announce the pricing of the Nintendo Switch 2. I don't intend to get it at launch because I suspect it will be very expensive. And number two, there's no new Star Fox games. We haven't had one for a very long time. So without further ado, thank you, and let me know your comments. This is a 5-minute reviewer signing out.